All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this devil platform with another message. And I will say that this is a lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I just want to come to you uh, with a short message. We're not going to be long tonight, but I will say that I just want to cover Ezekiel 39, because I was just listening to some things and something done on me out of nowhere. And I want to just kind of talk about it today. And this is also a time where if you have any questions or if you have any answers or anything, this is the time to talk. Okay. As I was going over Ezekiel chapter 39, I went over 38 and I thought about God. It is said today that God is Russia. This is the part I just can't understand as a prophetess. How is it that history don't know history? I know that might sound crazy. My hair looks crazy too, don't it? But how is it history do not know history? Impossible. History lie on history. History hide from history. But I don't believe that history know it not. Mm, 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 mm. History. You know, the people who go back and do searches and always got to tell you what took place in the time period, the year ADC and AGB or whatever. I just come to understand that history hides from history. History lies on history. History don't give the fullness of history. It make up its own history from history. And when it all said and done, it's still in the hand of He that created history itself, the Most High Yah. Mm, 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 mm. It still remain in that right hand that's stretched out on. History rests therein. So, with that being said, it kind of strange to me how Russia is not familiar. I do know Russia wasn't connected to very much of the slave trade. That's as far as I know as far as that. But I do know that Russia has a part in the prophecies of the end days. What is it they don't know today about what was prophesied yesterday? Mm, 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 mm. You know, it's so important to have the spirit of the Most High Yah in you, living, activated, moving, going to and fro, revealing you things to you and teaching you, comforting you, showing you things to come. It is so important because the more and more I read the instructions and direction book, the Father always showing me something outside of the book. You see what I'm saying? So to say, even when he say heaven and earth shall pass away, and he means that. I know, as we know it. So when he said heaven and earth shall pass away, he didn't want you to get out of the realm of his power. He wants you to get out of the realm of seeing it pass away in what you, as you know, heaven and earth. That's going to pass away. But history, as we know history, and as history know itself, it's going to rest in the bosom of the Most High God, who have created the beginning to the end and everything in between. So as I'm reading, first and foremost, I was in the tub and it was spilling out so much to me. And I'm going to cover some of Ezekiel 39, but I'm going to ask you what you think. What do you think about it? And what is actually taking place here in Ezekiel 39? First and foremost, I'm going to give you a kind of a tab of how it is important to have the spirit of the Most High God, the creator himself. Why is it so important to have that part of him? Because it was promised to teach you all things. He lives up to his word. You and I, we might not, but the Most High Yah, he's about what he's saying. He says what he's about. And I am one living human on the earth that believe it 100 without a doubt. And no one else can convince me elsewhere. So even let me show you the example that I had. And I'm gonna show you how Sister Deborah ain't got no sense, and I don't care how you like me now. Sister Deborah don't have no sense, and I don't care. So let me show you something and how Sister Deborah can go in to the instructions and direction book and come out and look to the Father and say, but what about what you see, it's a non-stop situation with me since I was 4. So this is probably why he said this girl ain't got no sense for real. She ain't telling y'all no lie. I got to teach her. And I appreciate him 100% for being such an awesome, great, perfect, excellent, wonderful teacher, and not leaving me hanging. So let me just give you a glimpse of how Sister Deborah ain't got no sense. So as I was looking at Ezekiel 39, it says, therefore, thy son of man prophesied against God and say, thou said, Ahiah, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief priests of Meshach. That's what it said, Meshach, Shock, or whatever, and Tuba, Bow, Tuba, Bah. Now, when I see that in Ezekiel 39, in my mind, I'm saying, wait a minute, Father Yah, you called him son of man. He said, yeah, Deborah, that's Ezekiel. That's one of my prophets. Back in the days, one of your brothers. I said, okay, but why are you telling him to prophesy to God, which is Magog, which is Russia? Why is he prophesying to him? He ain't gonna be here. That's how silly Sister Deborah can get. Because in my mind, when I'm reading this instructions and direction books, it takes me totally out of the book of the natural and roll me over in the spirit, and I start to ask the questions therein. Because I'm like, here, you said, therefore, thy son of man. He's talking to Ezekiel, prophesied against Gog, and say thy said, Ahiah, behold, I am against thee. Now, wait a minute. Ezekiel been dead thousands of years ago. Magog is in my day and time. You see what I'm saying? And I'm like, what can Ezekiel say? It goes back to where we were talking at the beginning, history. History was present before history was present. We're going back twos, y'all. We're going back twos. There is a history which is spiritual, and there is a history which is natural. Natural was born from spiritual history. The natural history was born from spiritual history. That's why when flesh began to tell history, they telling a bunch of lies. They tell a bunch of lies. They can't get it right for nothing. Why? Because it rests in the history in the spirit realm. Well, why would you say that, Deborah? Because see, before anything was, he is. You see, the word in John, the Gospel of John, chapter 1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Yah. The Word was Yah, and was with him in the beginning. People don't understand the power of the Word. It was what was spoken to create all things. So you got to give the Word some promise. Even the Word is spoken to Ezekiel back thousands of years and speaking to Sister Deborah today. You see the power in the word of Yah. The power is not in the book. It's in the spirit realm where it rested in, where it was created. And as I'm looking at Ezekiel 39, and I'm saying, but you telling Ezekiel to prophesy to God. Had they always been here, or was they back then during his time? That's how I ain't got no sense, because I did all the way down as far as the hole can go and won't come up unless he's coming up with me. And I have what I need in understanding. You see what I'm saying? That's just how silly I am. I know I ain't got no sense, and I ain't worried about it either. And I don't want none. Not where he done taken me, and where he done placed me, and where he done son me, and where he done showed me. Look, I don't need that sense of the flesh when you got it in the spirit. Because the spirit is first, you guys. It knows all things. It's willing to do all the things that's right. Because why? It knows what righteous is. Flesh said, I don't care. My destiny is back to the dust. That's all I am. I come from the dust, and dust I will return. So I'm not caught up in what I need to know, what I should know, and what I do know. All I know is I'm going to be your worstest enemy as long as you're here. That's flesh. That's flesh for you. You see? So as I was being really silly, because when I finished reading this here, therefore, Ezekiel chapter 39, therefore, thou son of man, prophesied against Gog, and say, thou said, Ahiah, behold, I am against. Now, wait a minute. How is Ezekiel telling Gog that you're going to be against him in this day and time? And this time period has not taken place. But it has. But it has. But it has. See, this is how, when Sister Deborah wants to go so deep, he'll go down deep with me. You see, you want to be silly? I take you down deeper than deep and see if you come up with any sense then. See, that's how the Father rumbled with me. I don't know about y'all. You want to go deep? Come on, I'll take you deep. Now, you want me to tell you what he's saying now? He said, now, since you asked that question, and you asked, why was I saying this to Ezekiel about God? As if he's here during the time this is going to take place. Whether Ezekiel is here, whether you is here, whether Magog is here, it doesn't matter. I am who I said that I am. I'm here. I wrote the book. You see, it was in me before it was out of me. So therefore, the reason why it was said to Ezekiel, because it was already in me before Ezekiel was even born. So you want to know, and you want to go deep? I take you deep. But when you go deep, I'm going to take you deeper. And then when you come up, hopefully you have a little bit of sense. You see? So what he's saying to me is, deeper is saying that I taught you what took place before the foundation of the world. So whether Ezekiel was there, Magog was there, you here, it didn't matter. Y'all wasn't there. I wrote the book. It is in me. So I didn't need y'all to be present when the will was mine, when the purpose is mine. If I am what I say that I am the beginning and the end. That means anything that was, is, and shall be, hey, it was with me before anything existed. So I can do that. I can tell this to Ezekiel to prophesy it, but I have everything in decency and in order. Because while they're trying to rewrite history, history then wrote them up and then wrote them out. Want me to tell y'all what he mean by that? I already wrote the Lamb Book of Life and the books to the lake of hell. Tell me, who tells me what to do with what is mine? You see, that's going back to the smart mouth Deborah who thinks she asks the questions, and this is the type of answer Sister Deborah gets. You see? So heaven had already had a Lamb Book of Life written along with the books that's going to be open come judgment, with everybody works in it. It already is in the heaven. We just down here walking up and out what heaven's already orchestrated. So when you see Ezekiel saying this is explaining to you, Deborah, that history always been history. Now you got to tell them like you've been telling them. It is spiritual history. Spiritual history is spirit and truth. It is the righteousness that rests therein. It is the will, the purpose of the Most High God. But then you have another history. And we know how man has tampered with the other history because they put a whole bunch of old chaos in there that is nowhere near truth. I don't even think the real history book, would y'all say maybe 20% true in any of the books? I mean, honestly, y'all, I am for real. The books that's the history out here, and it's not just the history of the house of Israel. I mean, their whole history, even their own self, is a lie because they can't seem to tell truth about nothing. So the true history is in the bosom of the Most High Yah. It's the spiritual history that was, that is. That history has told Sister Deborah Dale born, Sister Deborah Dale going out, where she at today, where she was yesterday, and where she gonna be tomorrow. That's the true history. It's in the heavens, in the bosom of the Most High God. You see, and this history we have down here is a liar. It's not gonna tell us everything. That's why it was so important that the Holy Spirit comes, the Ruach, and live in us and teach us from the inside out, which is the spiritual being. Its spirit teaches our spirit from the inside so we can tame the outside. See, he don't want it to be where your outside taming the inside, because your flesh is never going to want to do what is right according to your spirit. It will never, ever, ever, ever desire to do that. So he has to come into you where your spirit is and abide there. And he said, there I abide with thee, and thee abide with me. And we become one in this. Okay, so this is where he come out with revealing stuff and showing you things and opening your spiritual eye and your spiritual ear so you can hear exactly what he's teaching you from the inside. You see, so when I go here, I'm like, when I first thing I got on here in Ezekiel 39, and it says, therefore thy son of man, which he's talking to Ezekiel, prophesy. I'm like, you was prophesying. I'm in the tub, y'all. I said, wait a minute. You told Ezekiel to prophesy to those dry bones that was dead. And in me, I'm thinking, okay, I'm coming to a new revelation. You know, I found this out. And why are you speaking to him? You know, because they've been speaking to us for a mighty long time. All these years, thousands of years, and we yet have an ear to hear. Not at all. We yet have an ear to hear, and they've been speaking that long, even while they are asleep in their graves and in their spirit is asleep. They yet is speaking. Now, who are hearing them, even though they are at sleep? Those that are to take the baton from their hand and run on with it. But they are mission to do so. You see? So I'm sitting back and I'm saying, okay, so wait a minute. I got another question. I say, do Russia know already? You know what the Father told me? Deborah, they've been knowing that I've been speaking, that I'm coming after. They always knew. That's why Ezekiel told them thousands of years ago. That's why everything is rumbling according to my will. And you know what my will is, Deborah? And I'm like getting, okay, yeah, I think I do. My will is my word. When I speak this, it is my will. And my will is it, my word. And my word is my will. So when Ezekiel is speaking this, he's going out with the will of the Father and the word of the Father. And this is what he says. Thou said, Ahiah, behold, I am. See that word I am? Letting you know. Don't come to me trying to tell me who I am. I don't need you to know my name. I don't need you to know, tell me anything. I know who I am. That's what he's been saying for thousands of years. Yeah, y'all can monkey around. He said the name is this, the name is this, the name is this. But let me tell you something. If I'm going to bring my spirit into somebody, I'm bringing it into their spirit. And that's me. They are holding my name within me because my name is me. What did it look like my name over here and my spirit over there? What sense does that make? So when he comes and he abides in us, then now he's not going to hold us blameless. And it ain't important how you say his name, the way you say it, the way you turn it, the way you flip. Why? Because now you got the greatest in you than anything at one end of the world to the next. He's in you. And who is that in me? I am. I am what? I can be whatever I want to be and when I want to be and how I want to be. How you like me now. You see? And that's the part also many people miss because they want to take the word I am and make it to something that the flesh can embrace and accept. But when you know I am in the spirit, you know you got to stand down. Because it's saying many of things, but yet saying one thing. Stand down. Recognize that I can be this, I can be this, I can be this, that, this. I can do this, I can be this, I can be this. When you finish, I can be whomever I am. And when I call mine, they too are who I am. They am who I am. But see, they don't want to teach that. They don't want to preach that because that is from the spiritual realm. So as he was explaining to me in Ezekiel 39, I'm learning. I was going over this about Magog because you hear so many people talking about another war. And I see here that in Ezekiel, there is a separate war against Magog. It's one in Ezekiel and there's one in Revelation. Okay, Revelation is going to be done similar to the way he's going to destroy Magog, Gog, here in Ezekiel. That's going to be a time period where he has taken his out of the United States. A lot of us really, really don't understand how and the way he got that orchestrated. I don't fully understand it, but I know whatever he's taken out of the land of how would I say it, Babylon, who those that he are taking out. I will say this: what will happen after those individuals are taken out is going to be off the chain. There's going to be a lot of things happening because those that are marked, they're going to also see a lot of things happen. Oh yes, they're not going to escape. They're going to see a lot of things happening. But just as that city, that great Babylon is coming down, it has nothing on the way he's going to end it in Revelation for Magog. Why? Because this is what I don't know if you all, when I was young, it was always Russia and America. Russia's gonna bomb America. America gonna bomb Russia. I mean, so sick of hearing that all my life. Always the big wars was Russia and the United States. Okay, so now you see that the Father has set in Revelation for the United States to go down, to fall. Okay, so we know they're going to be out the picture. So now you see Magog. It's got to be the power punch. What is it we missing today? Why is it we don't grip that? Why is it people, even in those who I can't say no more, he told me not to say it no more, they awaken, because they ain't awakened to nothing but stupidity. So those who say they know, they're scholars, they're Bible thumpers or whatever, or they know this and they this, and they on this devil platform teaching left and right and left. He's saying that this here with Magog is going to happen twice. Okay, but it used to be all my life Magog, which was Russia and the United States. Everybody always scared of those two battling out, those two warring against each other. We just figured the world would end if we get into war with Russia, or Russia get into war with us. Everybody used to talk, even in high school, that the world would end during that time. And because we looked at it as those are the two Magog, the big. But as you see here in instructions and direction book called King James, you see where it speaks of Magog. Magog is considered Russia, but it also speak of other countries that has united with Russia. He let them know, you're going to be along with them. Okay, so you included with them. And you know what else I sit and say, and I think it's really sad, is Ethiopia. Why is it everybody think that they are the house of Israel? Because of their skin texture. I mean, they melanated, and because we as people of Israel, we the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah. To me, I think we are the main people that just don't have it at all. I mean, here to get it at all. And I sit back and I listen. I said, well, Father, you sitting here telling Magog how you gonna take him out, because he's gonna come to the mountains of Israel, and he just plainly told Ezekiel to prophesy that thing. Ezekiel, let me show you the spiritual realm of prophesying. Ezekiel prophesied it thousands of years ago, and here it is falling straight in the lap of Sister Deborah. That's deep. Tell me that the word don't hold itself up. Ezekiel prophesying it, and guess what? Russia know exactly what Ezekiel is saying. You all thinking they're planning this, because you all have given them that much glory, that much power, that they're smart, they're intelligent, they doing this because they know. No. They still following he that holds the word. The word is the will of the Father, and the will of the Father is his word. And none of it will come back void. When it goes out in power. It says what it says, and it means what it says. So he's telling Ezekiel, and like I said, our smart mouth Deborah comes saying, well, why did Ezekiel, that was 1,000 years ago, why you telling Ezekiel to prophesy? So somewhere along the line, he's showing me the power of his word that'll go along with his will. So I'm like saying, but do Russia know you gonna throw them down once we out of here? Do Russia know that? Yes, just like the United States knows, the system along with the United States knows already that Babylon is coming down. You know why they knew? That's why y'all don't, the people here in this country, I think that the house of Israel and tribe of Judah is the first, how would I say it? I'm going to use the word ignorant. They're the first and foremost, worstest ignorant people. And then I think the United States is the second, the people that reside here, because the Bible then locked everything in from beginning to end, telling you everything, and everything is walking itself out. The thing about it, you have to have the spirit of the Most High Yah to understand how it's walking out and crawling out the will of the Father. 99.9 don't know how to do that, but Satan has been given the whole overall or know how to come in and go out, to and fro, up and down, according to what? The word, which is the will of the Father. Because let me show you why United States is something wrong with them, the people here. It's impossible to live in this country and watch them give all the money from this country to everywhere else. It is impossible for one to see that the debt and the $1 trillion that they trillions and trillions of that they say they in, but yet they taking everything out of your country, from your farms, from your cattle, from your seeds. They taking the seed, they taking everything. They taking your bank account, they taking your houses, they taking your health, they taking your health, they taking your body, destroying your body through death. They doing so many things. And nobody in this country has their mouth open wide to say, hold up, this picture don't look too good. So I say unto you all, you would think that they would say, let's go back to the true history book and see what's going on. Satan did it, but we walk around here trying to find all these other books that is not going to ever bring us to the light nor to spirit and truth. Why? Because that was the mission of the Holy Spirit. He didn't say put your trust in the books in which you read, in the books in which you find, in the books which you say was lost, but you only trust him. And they got to trust him from the inside out, because the outside is going to be telling you lies of history, lies of what he said, what he doing, when he doing, how he doing. But the truth be told, he always had a ram in the bush to give his mystery and his word out in his peers, but it has always been denied. Always, even to today. So what I'm saying is, how is it that Magog, and Magog, which is Russian, how is it that they don't know this here already? How is it that we as a people don't speak about this in a form of giving the Most High all glory and honor on the way his word has willed all things? You see? And then you look back at it, and I seen all these movies, and all these movies got some part of what is in this book. So somewhere the heathens see fit to make the best of the best out of what is actually taking place today, and they have brought it forth as it has prophesied that it shall come. And a lot of the prophecies you get tied up with, you lose it, because a lot of people don't even understand the 4 horses, the trumpet being blown, the seal of the angel coming from the east carrying the seal of the Father, the 4 angels on the 4 corners of the earth holding the wind. You know what that got to be like, to sit there and hold the wind? You know what that got to be like, to stand there and hold the wind? Something got to happen after that. And that's what has. And still, See, when you see it in the spirit realm, it's more understood. It makes sense. But when you see it out of the history of the mouth of people who want you to know it in a history book that man has made, man has created, that you'll never find your way. It's like you're traveling, going somewhere, but you'll never find where you're going, even though you know where you come from. You can't find your way where you're going if the map don't know where it's going. Have you had your phone where you put it on a map quest and you put this here and it's taking you all over the place? Have you all ever been in that situation? And you just right here where you at already, and why is it taking you all over the place? Well, that's how the mindsets of humans, they just don't want to stay in the midst of the Most High Yah and where He resides in them. They don't even want Him in them. They want to rewrite history. They want history to be before you totally different than the way the word, the will, the word and the will has already orchestrated from the heaven. So here I'm like saying, okay, oh, wait a minute, something going on here. I said, now you sitting here telling Ezekiel to tell Magar. Magar ain't seen Ezekiel. Ezekiel ain't seen Magar. But guess what? They seen me, because this is my word that has been put into my will. No, it's not breaking it down where you can pick up a natural book and it tells you go here, 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 here. No. It has to take you the spiritual route. And that's why people can't find their way. They know where they come from, but they don't know where they're going, because what they're doing is they know where they come from, and they're trying to just trust in, this is where I'm come from. So I know where I come from. Now I come from here. I'm the people of Israel. I'm the tribe of Judah. I'm Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And then you ask them, well, where are you going? You know the way? They can't really give it to you. Why? Because they following the weight of the natural history versus the spiritual history. The spiritual history is spirit and truth. It's going to take you where you need to be going and put you on the right track, on the right road to where you need to be going. I got a question as well. And I was like, behold, it comes and it is done. As the Most High was telling this to, I got a question to ask you all too. In Ezekiel 39, he was telling this all to Ezekiel about how he gonna throw down on Gog. They're trying to, they don't like the idea of Israel being up in the mountains. So they like saying, wait a minute, you ain't got no business up in there. You ain't got no business near that land or on that land. We coming for you. You see, they're gonna come with a mighty army, as he said, a large army. But it's just gonna be a work for Israel, because Israel is gonna have to come behind all those dead bodies and all those weapons and horses and everything. They're gonna have to come back and collect, and even the birds and the beasts is gonna have a good time, you know, doing after this here. Because see, the Father ain't out here to play with these people. If you just read it and see how he gonna destroy them, I'm like saying, how long did it take you to do that? A second? Half of a second? 1/4 of a second? That's just how quick he destroyed them. See, he ain't got time to play with you. You ain't nothing to him. He ain't got time for that. That's why I confused me to even think that, what is it that even the United States is not reading in Revelation 18? What is it? You know what it is? That word and that will can't be tampered with. Here it is. Ezekiel chapter 39 and verse 8. Behold, it is come, and it is done, said the Most High Yah. This is the day whereof I have spoken. Just letting you know. Everything that I speak, because I am the word, not one drop of the word in which I speak for my will come back void. So he's telling him right here, Ezekiel 39 and verse 8, behold, it is come, and it is done, said the Most High Yah. This is the day wherein I have spoken. He's telling this to Ezekiel, what he's going to do with Magog. So what will make Magog today, and let's say 3 or 4 years from now, once Israel is in a land, come up against the mountains where the Israel and the land is going to be. What make Magog want to even do that? Don't you read? Can't you see this? No, Deborah, go back to the beginning. This is their history. See, they take stuff out of here when they want it to apply to them, where they get the upper hand. You see? So they have added and taken away, smeared, and did so many things to where they are run here when they're trying to trap you. But they won't, or the world, or people, but they won't use this on themselves. So Russia wouldn't come into the biblical and use this to say, I better stay away from here because this said. Even if he tried, he couldn't. Because what? Whatever he said, his word will not and shall not come back void. And it is what? Already written. Where? In the heavens. A lot of us want to say it's written here. No, baby, it was there. Why is it there? Why is the word already written and shall not come back void? And why is it there? Because their man hand can't tamper with it. That's why. Here, they just smeared it and said this and made this say this. Now, say for instance, Russia now, they read this. When you think that they would say, well, we better do this, we better do this. No, because they can't, even though they can't change the word, what else they can't change? Anybody know? They can't change his will. Praise the mighty Yah. So even if they come to here and realize that he's gonna kill us off twice. The first time and the second time, we all gone. This first time is when they coming up because they don't like the idea that Israel and the house of Israel is now in their promised land, and they going after them, up onto the mountain of Israel, and they're thinking that they're gonna war and get and take and whatever, but the Father gonna let them come onto the battlefield. And he's going to destroy them. He's going to destroy them on the battlefield. And I'm sure this is the chapter in which I heard that they were like unto the sand of the sea. And I was like, Father, how did they get to be that many? Because many other countries is going to join with them. Why? There were 2 countries, remember? Sister Deborah said all her life, Russia and the United States. But what's happened? United States is destroyed. So who is the mega force? Russia. Now I'm sure China is going to connect with them, and they're on here too, called something, but they're not called China. But Magog and God, I know that sounds like Russia. So I believe that is what I ain't gonna believe it. I know that's Russia. So, but the United States is out the picture. So Russia think they big dog. And out of the United States and on the 4 corners came the house of Israel. And the house of Israel is now in their land, and they're coming to interfere. But it kind of bothered me that he was saying that it was so many of them. He was saying there was so many. He's telling them he's going to take their bows and their weapons from out of their right hand, meaning no matter how good you are at what you do, I'm going to destroy you. And that's what I'm saying to you all today. This here is a history book. it gives some spiritual insight, and it gives you enough to do what? What does the King James Bible does for you? It gives you enough insight so that you can study to show yourself and desire that your teachers show up. You see, your teachers show up, the scholar, the teacher, which is the Holy Spirit. So whatever you're able to read and study is still enough for you to want and desire. Now the teacher just show up to teach you what you're reading and what you're studying. You see, so you can get in here and you can study and you can come to some, because he said rightly dividing, letting you know that there's some truth to need to be divided. But when that Holy Spirit pull up, everything got to come down. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's important that you have the Spirit of the Most High God, okay, to ride along with you. You know, it's nothing wrong with studying. It's good. And in your studying, having your heart questions that you stumble with, you have a hard time with. So here I'm sitting here listening to how he's gonna destroy Magog, and how other countries going to, like Persian, going to also be with them. Who else? Where is it at? I think it's going to be more than 3, but I think it speak of 3. The Persian, Ethiopian. And I'm like saying, see, y'all would think that they are y'all people. You let these men teach this here book in their history. Their history is in their own heart, their own mindset, their own wisdom, their own knowledge, their own understanding. That's why I was telling y'all there's a separate wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that comes with the Holy Spirit. But see, they rather ride on there because they see that they get the mass and the multitude to follow them as long as they speaking outside of the and speaking their own. So there are several of them that's going to join. I know Persian was crooked. I knew them, but they always been. And Ethiopia, you know, I hear a lot of black people saying those are our people, and that just shows you ain't read. Now, why would he have a light with this here saying this, and you just totally ignore it as if he's telling you this is not Israel. He's telling you he's going to destroy them with Magog. But why are you claiming them to be Israel? You see, it's a lot of things so important. All I can say is important to have the Holy Spirit. That's all I can say. But I want to show you something. And he was telling the birds. I loved how he was telling the birds. Let me see, did he tell Ezekiel to prophesy to the birds? Yeah, listen to this. Listen to this. Ezekiel 39, verse 17. And thy son of man, thou said, Ahiah, speak unto every feathered fowl and every beast. Now he's telling him to speak to them, prophesy to them. Now watch this. Of the field, assemble yourself and come gather yourself on every side to my sacrifice that I do sacrifice for you. Now he's talking to the birds and the beasts. And a great sacrifice upon the mountains of Israel, that ye may eat flesh and drink blood. He's telling Ezekiel to prophesy that, you know, and the prophesying that to Ezekiel, where do it come to? To somebody like me. Those that are in the spirit. He's prophesying our day, the time that's coming in our day and time. You see, that's how we can get it and then flip it into others. But what happens is they want to teach their way. That's why they're going around talking about the 12 tribes and not even knowing really who the 12 tribes is. I really don't think they know. But I was just listening to this, and it just done something to me, because it made me start to go into a different line of understanding. And I want to ask y'all this question. Listen to this. Listen to this. Ezekiel chapter 39 and verse 21. and I will set my glory among the heathen. His glory is his power. They're gonna see his glory and know instant. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's Yah. You remember Nebuchadnezzar? When the three Hebrew boys were in the fire furnace, he said, look like, then we put three, we see another one that looks like the son of Yah. See, he had himself, his glory was in there, keeping the fire from away from them. You see what I'm saying? So, and they weren't even smelling like smoke, as I heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's just that the Most High's glory is being able to see his power at work. Let's put it like that. His glory is like seeing his power at work. Now watch this here. Ezekiel 39:21. And I will set my glory among the heathens, and all the heathens shall see my judgment that I have executed, and my hand, there go the hand. I told you, that's his power. His hand is his power. You see, I knew that hand had to be in there somewhere because his glory is going to be seen based on the power that's coming out of his hand. Now watch what he says. And it says, I will execute, and my hand that I have laid upon them. He's going to do it with his hand. he killing them, y'all. He goes, why you know he killing them? He's telling Ezekiel to call the birds and the beasts. Come on, y'all. I got a sacrifice for y'all. All the blood you can drink and all the flesh you can eat. So here in Ezekiel 21, he's setting it up, telling you, now listen to this again. And I will set my glory among the heathens, and all the heathens shall see my judgment that I have executed, and my hand that I have laid upon them. What is happening is he's going to kill so many of them, y'all, thousands of them. But they're going to be like the sand of the sea. It's going to be so many of them. He's going to leave some of them alive. He ain't going to kill them all, y'all, because you got to go back to Revelation where it really going to go down. That's the only reason Satan coming up out of the 1,000 years, just to do the will of the word of my Father. And guess what? They won't teach that to you. They won't preach that to you. They won't reveal that thing to you, because greater is he that rests within you, gives you that ability to wake the people up in true light to see really who he is, who he was, and who he gonna be. So here I'm like listening to Ezekiel 39 and verse 21. Then it says, so the house, now listen to this. This is really powerful to me. In verse 22, so the house of Israel shall know that I am Yah, their God, their Yah, from that day forward. Now, why? Because those men of Israel, they're going to have to come down between all those bodies that the Father is going to kill on the battlefield, right down beneath the mountain of Israel. So when y'all never really understand why he was telling Ezekiel, can these dry bones live? Y'all didn't understand that was the army of David. That's why it speaks of the dry bone as an army of men. I believe that was the army of David. You see, now the Father said he wants he bring them forth. He said he's taking them to the promised land. So that's why he said he's bringing in a multitude of men. And when he was telling him to prophesy to the dry bones, you got to understand, you got to look at it and see, it's called it an army of men. Only army I knew that fought on the battlefield was David's army. That's why David is also going to be present. It don't have to be David as you think you know him. You ain't never seen him, so you don't know him no way. But it's the heart and spirit of who David was from the heaven that's going to show up and show out in the promised land. See, a lot of people, they don't want to see things in the spiritual way of how the Father is teaching it. No, they want to stay in the history. That's why they grab all these books and try to get understanding all these lost books, because they don't have the Holy Spirit. See, the Holy Spirit don't go looking for books, y'all. It ain't going to the library and searching for this book on Amazon, trying to get this book and get this book and get this book. Then you sit your tail flash at the table and got all these fleshly books before you, but ain't no spirit and truth before you. That's sad. No spirit and truth on the table. All these man-made history books that has been smeared, tampered with, and everything. But yet we trust the books that's in front of us instead of the spirit. It's not what a man seeth. It's what a man don't see. It's what he need to be believing in. Okay, so it says here, this is the strange part of it in Ezekiel 39. And this is, I'm gonna ask you a question about this. 22. So the house of Israel shall know that I am the Lord thy Yah, their Yah, from that day forward, from the day that he throw down on Magog and those other countries, right on the battlefield, right underneath, down on the battlefield, near is the mountain of Israel. Okay, now watch this here, 23. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel, now listen to this. This is why I try to understand how is it, and it doesn't make any sense. I don't think it makes sense on the spiritual end, but it doesn't make sense on what people are teaching on these platforms or teaching anything. That's going back to Sister Deborah just stuck on spirit and have left this fleshly thing totally 100% alone. Because listen to what this says. Ezekiel 39 and 23. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity. Why don't the heathen know that now? What part of this they don't get? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Ain't nothing hidden, y'all. And when he said there's nothing new under the sun, he letting you know everything I created under the sun, there it is. Go for it. Oh, we don't want that. We need a book that man have printed. The same ones that got us in oppressing us is the same one that have built every book that they read, every book they say lost, every book that they have found, still the same people. But yet, they put more trust in those that have spoken to us and left us no spirit and truth. Those who have said this, books that have been taken out, that has not led us to the light, nor to spirit and truth. So what you do, you use those books and just study them. But those books got to stand down. Those books got to bow down to the Ruach HaKodesh, 24/24. And they ain't learned how to do that yet. They don't know how to do that. They might never. Most likely they won't. See, that's one of the problems. Nobody learned how to bow down. Stand down, bow down to the Most High Yah Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, because they think they got all the books they need to keep them standing up. I don't have to bow down. You ain't got nothing but man-made history. Pull up in the spiritual history. You subject to be lost. Okay, so here, an example. Watch Sister Deborah. An example that this is what I read, and I was like, wait a minute, hold up. 23. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity. What is it that the house of Israel themselves don't know that? I try to explain to you all. If we had 100 million people here, a tribe of Judah, let's say in the United States, you probably get 900,000 that might know that they are the house of Israel. So that you're going to be out of all those millions that don't know nothing about it, don't care about it, don't give a rat's behind, and ain't seeking to know. So I'm trying to show you all how we can be so bent up and bent down in what we're trying to master with one another, trying to get one another to fall under our fleshly wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And then the people end up falling what? Straight into the narrow gate. And they go that way. And that's why the narrow gate. You remember where he said, each and every one of y'all, you know what, a good thing to do? Look into the Bible where he said he enlarged in hell. And then you're gonna see the house of Israel standing there where he enlarged in the hell. You're gonna see the house of Israel right there. See, nobody wants to direct. And I guess again, heaven has already have the history on everything, so people can't be where he hasn't assigned them to be. And that's another thing. So this is what bothered me. Watch this here. Because they trespassed against me, therefore hide I my face from them, and gave them unto the hands of their enemy. So fell they by the sword. What do that mean, y'all? Anybody in the live chat? I'm not gonna say another word until see who can help me with this. Help me with this. We're talking about Ezekiel 39 and verse 23. Let's read it again. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity. So he's letting you know right now, the heathen shall know who you are. So why is it you all are out here acting a monkey, trying to clown to get them to know who you already are? They knew who you were. You just ain't accept who you are. That's why you still fighting about who you are, because you don't know who you are yourself. Okay, so listen to this. And then it says, because they trespassed against me, therefore hide I my face from them, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fall they by the sword. Verse 24. According to their uncleanness, according to their transgression, have I done unto them, and hid my face from them. Anybody in the live chat? I wait on you. This is a topic about what? Time to talk. Pull on up if you got the answer. And if you don't, that don't mean nothing. Don't nobody have all the answers. Not even Sister Deborah. Not the way he keep coming to me every day throughout the day. That shows I'm dumb. Even in the spirit realm, that he have to come to me and teach me this, teach. That's how I look at it. I don't consider me an A student. I consider me an F student if he have to keep coming to me telling me stuff. Anybody? Again, Ezekiel 39, verse 23 and 24. The heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity. Now, why is he saying this to Ezekiel? And let's continue. Because they trespassed against me, said the Father. This is what the Father. Therefore, hid I my face from them, and gave them into the hand of their enemy. And that's one of the most powerful things for a black man to embrace. The fact that he just said what he said. And that's why they will never know the Most High in spirit and truth. Because they will not salute the right hand of his power and what he did here. Now listen to what he said. Therefore hid I my face from them, and gave them unto the hand of their enemy. So fell they by the sword. Verse 24. According to their uncleanness and according to their transgressions have I done unto them, and hid my face from them. Okay, we got one. Now look, I'm not going to, you been on here all this time and even wrote the verse down. Read it. And it's Ezekiel 39 and verse 23 and 24. Okay. As far as where it says, and he gave them to the hand of their enemy. What is wrong with that in this day and time? Anybody in the live chat? What could we say that's wrong with that? It's nothing wrong with it, but it's something wrong with us. There's nothing wrong with it. It's something wrong with us. What could we say to it, though? What can we actually say to that? Oh, that's good. That's good. You got it. You got it. That's right. I wanted to bring that up when I was writing this down, and I highlighted it. I said, I'll bring in Deuteronomy 28, but isn't it saying the same thing? That's good. That's good. He letting them know. He is letting them know. But what is he saying to us? What is it? That's real good, because that, you know what? When I read that, and I was like, oh, I said, well, wait a minute. Why is I keep coming up on these messages in this instructions and direction, laying the whole captivity out to us, and we still today misses it? Even Deuteronomy 28, that's matching Deuteronomy. If you wanted to precept it and line and a little here, you can bounce that right back on Deuteronomy 28, along with probably 15 to 20 other verses that you can bounce on Deuteronomy 28 from Isaiah, Ezekiel, and Jeremiah. You sure can. So that's a good one. That's good. I'm surprised you got there, because that's the first thing I did. I said Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy, okay. So no one can come to that one, huh? See, what you got to look at is this. We're walking around in the year of 2023 of October. Still, I say October, let you know we talking about right now. Still in full denial of the curse. Mm-hmm. He's sitting here. Okay, let's go all the way back thousands of years ago when he had Abraham in a darkness of horror dream, not in the vision. And he told him that your seed was going to go into a land that they knew not of, and they should serve them. And, we were going to be in captivity. How did he tell him that 1,000 years? And here comes Ezekiel also saying the same thing and telling us what we did. But yet today we stand before all these devil platforms and get on here and do all these videos as if that was a lie, and everybody's doing something to us. And we are the angels from heaven out of the heart of God. And that's the only way they want us to see ourselves, as angels out of the heart of God. They don't want us to see that we were the one from the beginning of this instruction book and to the end have disobeyed our Father. The Father said to me, and I think I taught this about 1.5 years ago. He said, Deborah, all I wanted them to do is own it. And I think it's sad. Here we are in the year of 2023, and we still refuse to own that thing. And guess what's sad about it for this old prophet? Here it is, right here. That means when Ezekiel, I go back to Jeremiah, I go back to Isaiah, they saying the same thing. They saying the same thing Ezekiel is saying. Abraham, if he was in his grave, he said, what part they don't get, Deborah? He said that to me back in Genesis. You see? So what along the line that a people, what is going on here that they cannot grip what he's saying? Guess why he kept saying it? It said in Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Isaiah, Daniel, Abraham. Guess what he said? All he wanted us to do is to own it. Own what? What he had to do to us because of our disobedience. How can we own that thing? First and foremost, repent for our forefathers and repent for us that have made it even worse than our forefathers. And repent, denying that he did not do this. Here he telling Ezekiel. I'm like, what are you telling Ezekiel for? Here I am. What are you telling Ezekiel? See? He's been telling it since the beginning of time. And we stand year of 2023 and deny the whole thing. How do we deny it, Deborah? We waking up. You ain't waking up to nothing but stupidity. Because if you woke up to anything else, guess what? You'll be pulling up closer to the light with spirit and truth. You'll be on these devil platform teaching and preaching truth, righteous, and not letting all these people be on this devil platform teaching unrighteous. I seen a prophetess pull up the other day, and I was just listening to a little of it, show it, revealing all way back and bringing it all the way up to today. I'm like showing and I'm sitting here saying, but Father, is that not? I'm doing something similar to that by speaking it. It's a sad thing that here we are in the year 2023. Ezekiel embraced it, and it wasn't him. Jeremiah embraced it. Isaiah embraced it. Abraham embraced it. What's wrong with us? Why is it we don't own that thing? Why is it we don't admit to what our fathers did and what we continue to do and greater? The error of our father. It's because we don't want to admit that we are continue to do what? Be uncleanness, transgression, and all the sins that we're doing that was of our forefathers. We continue to do it and do it even greater. That's why we can't repent. That's why we can't own the curse. You got women and men, they'll get on here and they're sitting talking about, we need to repent. We need to repent. That's the curse he had already. We hear cost the curse. But then their whole conversation switched the next day when the devil put another album on that'll wipe away everything they said. Because he said in their hearts, their mouths say one thing, Deborah, but you can tell by the fruit. I can, because their mouths say one thing, but their actions to the next message and the next message speaks louder than their words that they're saying. And they can't even discern that. So I'm sitting here listening to him tell this to Ezekiel, and he's sitting here saying, and the heathen's going to know. Wait a minute, hold up. You mean to tell me that you felt the need for Ezekiel to know that the heathen's going to know? Because I told them, what is it with the house of Israel? What is it that they, and that's why they continue, and they sit back and they wonder, well, why are we still here? Because the judgment of the Most High Yah is not done with you yet. But he was just explaining to me all they needed to do was own that captivity, that curse, and we would have had it a little bit better. That's what he's saying. If we just would have owned that thing. And then I noticed he said here, just as Deuteronomy 28 says, and it's confusing to me because it says, so fall they all by the sword. What is that sword? I need some help with that, because that's my next study. It's confusing. Because when I found out the sword could be judgment, but judgment is just as dangerous as sword. So I'm like saying, listen to what it says, y'all. And just like you said in Deuteronomy 28, there it is. So fall they all by the sword. By the sword. Which one fell by the sword? According to their uncleanness and according to their transgressions have I done unto them, and hid my face from them. This is what I was explaining to y'all. Those that he's taking out of here is not Israel of the flesh. It is Israel of the spirit. And that Israel of the spirit is not he that is upright and just and clean. No. He's going to clean your nasty tail up anyway. But it's not, it's a different one, because right here it's even saying, so fell they all by the sword. Who is they? All. And then he began to tell according to their uncleanness and according to their transgressions. You see what I'm saying? So this is why Sister Deborah say to you all, those that he are planning on taking out of here, that would have to be a spiritual Israel. It cannot be, and when I say spiritual Israel, it don't mean you all upright, just, and righteous. No, 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 no. It's in heaven, Israel that he had already planned. Okay, I said like this, a seed of the Spirit. Let's put it like that. Those are the ones he's getting out of here. The other ones that he's talking about that fell, so fell they all by the sword. Those are the ones that's not the spiritual seed, y'all. That's why I say it's a sad day to really be in, because you know everybody thinking that everybody going. You know that's the way they teaching it, preaching it. They trying to manipulate you to believe that they are strictly the righteous angels from heaven, and that's not true, because you wouldn't be cutting up from the floor up like you're doing on earth if you were the seed of righteousness from the heaven. You see, so that's why you see so much. Do you all see all that stuff they doing in them stores? Do y'all see that? Do y'all see the tribe of Judah in these stores? Do y'all see the tribe of Judah and how they are killing and breaking into people's houses, shooting and killing people left and right? Is it just Sister Deborah seeing this, or have any of you noticed that stuff? Not to say that it's not happening to the heathens, but I'm focusing on those that not look like that, but of the tribe of Judah. I put it that way. I'm seeing the stuff and I'm saying, but Father, is that real? Am I seeing what I'm seeing? Oh, yes, you see what you're seeing. I'm like, they are walking into malls, y'all, and stores, doing things and don't have no conscience of guilt, feeling, or anything. I've sat and I watched the other day all of these people coming up to people's houses, knocking their doors in. Everybody got guns, y'all. Everybody got the firepower. Everybody got firepower. Now you finna knock into, it's 3 of you all. You finna go into an elderly house and she shoots at you and all 3 of y'all start firing at her like she's the military. You see what I'm saying? Nobody got hurt, but it's just that you coming in her space. You coming in her property with firepower for an elderly woman. Y'all, come on now. I don't care what nobody say. Somewhere, it's 2 things that has parked out. It's that stuff that they smoking, that weed that they came out with, which nobody wants to talk about it, especially Negro, men and women. It is what's going to cause many of them to start really doing crime all in your neighborhood, in your community, in your surroundings. You see what I'm saying? And I believe also the thing has also maybe something that caused it, because they said within 2 to 3 years there should be a great number that should fall dead. And Australia is really up high. They are off the chain. They say they people falling dead by great numbers, and nobody's doing nothing about it. Sudden death, but it's having to do with their heart and things that, you know, these are normal people. It's a lot of it's going on. They have fulfilled what they planned on fulfilling. But you also got to run right back to Revelation with the 4 horses. That's what they come down to do. See, so when you thinking that, oh, the devil and Satan and the demons and did, you better line up in the history of the spirit, instead of hearing all these clowns on this devil platform in the history of the flesh. And a lot of the history is their own personal history they want to instill on you. Now, all of these things that's going on, and I'm more so like, and I do have a problem. I do have a problem. Is because my problem is I know it ain't gonna get better. That's the problem, Sister Deborah have. I know it ain't gonna get better. I'm seeing too much. You see, and it's to the point where you wake up and you just like, when and how. You have to be looking forward to his right hand scooping you up out of here, because I think that everybody is looking for Santa Claus coming to town. People are looking for the pumpkin to go trick or treat. People are looking for Thanksgiving, the turkey day. People are looking for the New Year's, like the last one was better. You see, people are looking for all kind of things and not looking for. But they can't look for it, y'all. It's not in them. How can they look for something that's not in them? You know, everybody is smoking this stuff, and they don't even understand. I believe without a doubt, there are chemicals in there to cause the mind to just be whacked out. Too many things going on, you guys. And when I pass by a car and you can smell it, it's a smell. It's not a smell, you guys. So it is geared. The chemicals that's in it is geared to really probably addict individuals that be around that's in the midst of that. It causes me to get a headache, and that's not normal for me. But when I smell it, it's like, it's chemicals, you guys. It ain't something that grew out of the ground like they had it 20, 30 years ago. It's not weed, y'all. It's not what you think it is. It has no detachment to weed. But you think it, you know what? That's how far gone Negroes really are. Now, it's a lot. It's more white people on it. Don't get me wrong. It's more white people on it than anything. But why isn't we so caught up in them, the heathens and the Gentiles, and not caught up in who we are? When we go over here to the land, it's going to be the majority of us. Okay? So therefore, what we need to be more caught up in is the ways of the Most High Yah, that is righteous, y'all, that is just, not the chemicals that man has to feed us or to get us to smoke or to all the things that they're doing is off the chain. Like I was telling you about my bank account, they already start switching the bank account just so they can have full power over your money. And this is why I know, and I come to the conclusion that the United States is the second in line to be the ignorantest people on the face of the earth. Because it's so much going on, and it not can they change it, y'all? They can't change it. They can't change what's going on. You see? But you don't hear nobody talking about it. That's why I call them ignorant. When even with the house of tribe of Judah, if you don't hear them talking about spirit and truth and the things which is in the light, to me, they gone. They gone. They think it's important to talk about the synagogue of Satan over there. How about this? The synagogue of Satan is over there, and the country you in takes sending all their money to them. How about that? You like that now? How about that? They sending millions over to them. They sending their militaries, your sons and your daughters, over to them. How about that? While you talk over to the synagogue of Satan. You see what I'm saying? What is it that people don't get? I wouldn't give Satan the prompts nor the glory on these devil platforms, even if it is his devil platform, to think that I'm going to come over here and give him glory and honor. I'm not going to give him no airtime about nothing that he does, because I'm going to tell y'all something. This is where it's happening. It got me too today. Okay? When you get to Revelation 20. And I was like, but Father, they don't know nothing about that. It's just so much they don't know about. When I got to Revelation in chapter 20, and I began to see what was going on. Let's go to verse 7. Now, Israel and Judah is over at in the promised land, okay? And it is a spiritual thing, y'all. It is spiritual. Everything, want me to show you how spiritual it is? Go to Ezekiel 36, verse 1 and read. And I'm like, why are you talking to Ezekiel like that? He's telling Ezekiel how he's speaking to the mountains, to the trees, to the land. He's talking to them like they're human. What is that for? For me. It's there for me. So when I'm thinking he's saying this to Ezekiel, it's just like Matthew 24 and on Mount Olive, where the disciples was asking him what will be the time of the end. And I said, wait a minute, what is it for them to know? Why they want to know? It's my time, not theirs. And I liked how the Father said to me, Deborah, so they could share what they was given, and it can go on like a chain of command. He said, but listen to what Yeshua says. And Yeshua came back with him. First and foremost, let me tell you something. In this day and time, meaning to the 12, don't you be deceived. While you worried about what's going to happen in those days, let me tell you one thing. Don't be deceived. People don't even understand. That's one of the main, most powerful tool of Satan in this day and time as well, is to be deceived. I used to think what my son told me when he was years ago. He said, do you think Satan is winning? He said, do you think Satan is winning? Because if you really think about that, it's kind of something to see in the natural. But if you knew who Satan was, and I'm going to show you who he is, y'all made Satan somebody he ain't. You know what I'm saying? And this also helped you to not fear wicked and evil when you know who the one that came tumbling here to try to deceive the whole world. Listen to this. When you get to Revelation chapter 20, verse 7, and when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. Do you all know all it took was one angel? One angel in Revelation chapter 20 and verse 2. No, verse 1. Revelation chapter 20, verse 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven. One angel. He didn't say, you know how you say 4 angels with change? You see what I'm saying? They got 4 angels with this chain. These 4, each one of them have these big old chains, right? Chains come down from heaven. But he said, now, Deborah, tell them, one angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. One angel and one chain. Watch this here. Verse 2. And he laid hold of the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil, Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and sealed, and set a seal upon him, that he shall deceive the nation no more until the 1,000 years shall be fulfilled. After that, he must be loosed a little season. And I'm just listening to that. I said, now, Father, now you know you ought to quit. One angel, listen to the whole world being deceived. But it takes one angel. We messed up here because we gave him the power in which he inherited on this earth. And that's why evil is so powerful on earth because we given it the strength and the ability to be how would I say it, as wicked and evil as it is, and it is looked at. But all it took was one angel, and I like what he said. He got on here, said, "Devil, let him know one chain do." He muzzled his mouth and took him down. It didn't take 4 angels. Didn't you hear about the 4 horses and the 7 trumpets and the all these 7 candles and the 4 angels on the 4 corners holding the wind? Wait a minute. But Father, you said one angel? We made him who he is because we followed his ways and did the things that pleases and pleasures him and made him manifest as something big. And you mean to tell me one angel is taken to one? Now listen to this. Revelation chapter 20, verse 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of the prison. Now y'all got to pay attention to this because this should throw you all the way off. You're going to have to go to bed and wake up and wonder, have y'all came and gone? Now listen to this. Verse 8. And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the 4 corners of the earth. Who he's heading to? Gog and Magog. To gather them together to battle. The number of whom is as the sun, the sand of the sea. So Magog coming after us at the land, the mountain of Israel. They coming out and they're going to be defeated. But see, he ain't going to kill them all. He's just going to kill enough of them that's going to keep us, I think it said in the Bible, keep our men busy for 7 months. 7 months. What are they going to be busy doing, Deborah? Collecting weapons, horses, all the kind of things they had in their pockets, all kind of things. Oh, yeah. And burying them, a lot of them. So that's what when you see him telling Ezekiel about the dry bones, that's the army of David. He said he's taking a multitude of men over to the promised land. That's why. Because see, he's going to throw down, he's going to throw up and throw down. They're going to be the one to come down after the Father had defeated Magog. But he and I think it's not going to kill them all. I don't even think it's going to kill 40% of them, but it's a purpose because they still got time until this time. Now we up in Revelation and Satan has been loosed. Watch this here. Satan been loosed. And this is verse 8. And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the 4 corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle. Satan coming out to convince them to come on the battlefield to fight. Guess who? Who are they finna fight now? Anybody know in the live chat? Who are they going to fight now? That's what that's exactly what's going to happen. Who are they going to fight now? Who is Gog and Magog going to fight now? And I like what they say, gather them together to battle. This is what Israel and Judah blows into you all's head all the time. This ain't got nothing to do with y'all. Y'all need to be about what y'all need to be about and don't get blown out of. This ain't got nothing to do with y'all. But this is information to give us light in the midst of all this darkness that's going on, letting us know that the Father already got victory in the heaven. He's just going to rumble it on the earth. So what happens? Yeah, that's what they're doing. So, but who's setting them up? And why was Satan let out after 1,000 years? Only to do one thing for the Most High Yah. Ain't that sad? It's sad because here we are giving him all this prompt like he's so big and bad, and he ain't. That's the same way with the heathens and the Gentiles. We have fed into their power, and we have given them the power And the Father said, I didn't give them that type of power. Even though I turned you over to their hand, I didn't give them that type of power. You all gave it to them. And then you turned away from my power. You all gave you all gave all the power to the heathens and the Gentiles, and then you turned away from my power. That's what you did. Whether you accept it or not, whether you know it or not, you turned and gave the heathens and the Gentiles all the power to make them think they're strength. That's why they don't care about how they treat you, how they do you, how they speak to you, and you sit back and say, don't they understand we the people? Don't they see? They don't give a rat's behind who you are, because you don't care about who you are yourself. So why you want them to be all caught up in who you are, and you out here killing your own people, disrespecting one another, having hate in your heart and in your flesh. You're not leading your people to no light, no spirit and truth. But you get in front of the heathens and Gentiles. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. He right. You see, I've seen our brothers do that. And it hurts me so bad to see a man bow down to another man. And I can't stand that. I know I got some issue. I say I ain't got no sense and I don't care. I can't stand that. Dang, I hate that. But let's go on here. So now Satan has convinced Gog and Magog to come to the what? Battlefield. Okay. Now, it is said that they are as the number of the sand of the sea. Yeah, that's a lot of people. They got a lot of army there. Now watch this here. And they went up to the bread of the earth. That's the battlefield of the Most High Yah. And compressed the camp of the saints about. Now, saints are, who are the saints under? They're under the body of Hamashiach. Now, this is why I try to explain to y'all, those that's going over, that he's taking over, are holy. See, when Christ, which is Hamashiach, is the head, the church and the saints is the body. You see, we are holy because the head is Christ. That's what it's saying. Now listen to this here. And they went up on the bread of the earth and compressed the camp of the saints. Okay, so I'm trying to explain to y'all, he's not sending these people that's out here acting a fool to the promised land. Stop telling these men and women out here that they all going to the promised land. Okay, he's saying about, and you see watch this here. And the beloved city. The beloved city is a city Yah loved. It is his beloved city because his power created it. Okay? Okay? And fire came down from Yah out of heavens and devoured them. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. But aren't they a big army? They're like the sand of the sea. And what happened? And the fire came down from Yah out of heaven and devoured them. Verse 10. And the devil that deceived them, see, Magog got deceived by the devil. Devil came out. The devil, when the angel unlocked the bottomless pit that Satan was in, Satan already knew. He didn't say, but do you want me to do that? No. Okay, where they at? He went over there to Magog now. Y'all should go over here to this field over here. You know where the saints, the children of the Most High, not the children, he said to, but the house of Israel, the mountain of Israel, y'all should go right there. And you should, he stayed in there till he convinced them. They took their dumb tails to their grave. So what happened? In verse 10, and the devil that deceived them was the devil fighting with him? That's why I say, y'all, don't listen to these nappy-headed people, because they lying to you all. Devil don't have crap to fight with. Why would you want to fight against someone that already created you and put you in at any time, the lake of fire. Satan said, y'all want to be stupid? You be stupid, but you ain't going to make me stupid. Now he came out. The angel unloosed the prison and let him out just so he can do one thing for the will of the Father. Go convince them to come to the battlefield, my battlefield. Satan said, we'll do. Went and convinced Magog, the whole army, like unto the sand of the sea, to take their stupid tail to the battlefield of the Most High Yahweh. And well, guess what? When that fire came from heaven, it devoured, it killed them all, y'all. So tell me, what battle was Father fighting? When was y'all fighting them? You see how people lie? When was y'all fighting Magog now? He didn't. He just dropped the fire and they all died. And it was like the sand of the sea. That's just how many it was. And Satan, what? What happened to Satan? And the devil that deceived them, well, how did the devil deceive them? Because he did what the Father told him to do. Enticed them to come to the battlefield. And he did it. And after he did it, what happened? And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire of brimstones, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. So he didn't have no problem. He was obeying Yah. I need you to come up. You've been chained down for 1,000 years away from my anointed ones. I need you to go over there and convince the fruitcakes over there to come over here to this battlefield so I can end them. Okay, I'll do that. Satan went over there and convinced him, came back to Yah. Where I go now, to hell? Okay, where is it at? Let me take you. And he took him. You see how simple it is? And we making this whole thing so, woo. You see? But because we don't put Father here and Satan down under our feet, Satan has caused us to see him here and the Father under our feet. There's no fear. So we don't fear Yah. We fear Satan and his workers in this world. But we don't fear Yah. We got him under our feet. We are limiting him in our lives, in the way we think about him and feel about him, and the way we conduct ourselves regarding him. And we put Satan all up here like he big dog. And he know he ain't big dog. You see, it's just simple. It's plain and simple. He told you. And he son them. He took him, and what he said, let me say, deceive, and he was cast into the lake of, he ain't got no problem. He knew what time it was. He probably would thank the Most High for giving him all them thousands of years before he put him in the lake of hell. Because when he was down in the prison, in the pit, the bottomless pit for that 1,000 years, he ain't had no problem. You see, that's us. We the problem. We want to join his team and do the things that pleases his wicked and evil. See, he gets here and he convinced people. How do he convince the people? How do he convince people to do wicked and evil and all this wicked and evil and darkness? How do you think he convinced them doing it? He starts with their flesh, and their flesh begin to have dominion over their spirit. And now they begin to do the things that rest in darkness and wicked and evil. And they can't see their way in anything outside of that. And Satan go on his little way and says, next. And then people like today, I just see what I see, the way I see things today. I'm like saying, you mean you can't see that? Just like I say, Gog and Magog, you can't see your stupid tail going to the battlefield? No, you can't see it. Why is it they can't see it? Because the Father's word is matching his will. And his will is matching his word. Neither nor shall come back void. That's how powerful the one that we really serve is. The one that we should serve. is. You see, so this is we want to put Satan on pedestals, because if we put him here, then we got y'all down yonder under our feet. And that's why we screwed all up from the floor up. But even in Ezekiel, he's telling Ezekiel of why we are over in this land. Now, why is he telling Ezekiel when he told Abraham and on down? Kept telling us. But it didn't matter, even to today. We still have not owned up to the curse itself. We still have not owned that thing. I would suggest people who are in group forms or in any type of place of worship where you're worshiping the Most High Yah in spirit and truth with the light, is to own that curse. Because the Father said that's all he wanted us to do. It wasn't going to erase nothing he's going to do for us. But we could have had it a little bit better. But we never owned the curse. Instead, we did what? Deny the curse. Even to today. Oh, no, I know. They said that they are awakened and they teaching you all this and this and this to make you assume that they have accepted the curse. Accepting the curse has to first and foremost go into repentance for our forefathers. When our forefathers did what they have done, you have to be able to see or understand what they've done and how important it is for you to feel that thing. Feel what they have done in a way that you feel a remorse from your inside. We want to make it out of the mouth, but we got to make it an inner man thing. Feel that thing, that they did this, and boy, he's the creator. He's got all that mercy and grace he pouring out. And he said, we profaned his name, we disrespect him. You should be able to feel that. There's something in you should be able to feel that thing. But what they're doing is, hey, I don't have to feel it. I don't have to know all that. All I know, I'm the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah. We going to the promised land, and y'all got it bent up and bent down. You need to get back into the study, y'all. Because the only one going is the spiritual Israel. Because the other Israel had already been given the promised land. And no one even gave him the glory in that. Oh, Father, you fulfilled that. No one goes back and say, wait a minute, he did give them the promised land, didn't he? No one goes back to search that or say, Father, I see, oh, yes, you did. No, because it'll show you what they did. And that's what a lot of them don't want to do. They don't want to reveal no more of how they have war against the Most High Yah. See, that's what a lot of y'all don't even get. The house of Israel and the tribe of Judah has war against the Father, the Creator. That's why he said to Ezekiel, I hid my face from them. I ain't got nothing to do with them. Let them go on. Matter of fact, they gonna die by the sword. I'm gonna destroy them with the sword. I'm like, I'm gonna destroy them. I'm like, and they don't hear you saying that? They don't get it? They don't read it? They don't see it? He said, no, they don't believe it. That's why. They don't believe it. So Sister Deborah, if anybody in the live chat has any questions, please. This is the time. We got a few minutes. And I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in. Yep. Praise the Most High Yah. Hallelujah. And it's amazing how many prophets the Most High sent out to the house of Israel to try to get them. All right. Shalom. Shalom. Oh, yes, I believe that. I believe that. So when you say that, you say, the Father has prepared a table for you in the presence of your enemy. Shalom. Can you expound? Even though I believe that. And you know what? I don't think outside of yourself being your worst enemy, family can be the worstest of the worstest. I don't care how much good, righteous, grace and mercy, whatever you pour out, it's never going to mend it, y'all. It's never going to see you any different than what they see you as within themselves. And you know what I think it has a lot to do is a lot of times I think it has a lot to do with you're not doing what they're doing. I think that has a lot to do with it too. People measure you based on what they see you do, and they saying when she don't do this and we do this, so I guess they got to make you different than them in some way or another. And let me ask another question. Do you all think, let's say for instance, if somebody in your household did something, let's say your family members, let's say 6 family members did something to you or toward you, would you say that it's a good thing to write them and let them know the way you feel about it? Or have you all ever been in a situation where you just had to just let it go and let y'all? And did you really let it go and let y'all? Would you say they can barely stand in your presence? Shalom. Would you say they can barely stand in your presence? It does. And it puts them in a state of mind. It really do. It puffs them up and put them in a state of mind where they no longer search for truth. What is truth? Spirit and truth. That means searching for what Yah is saying. How can they search? As soon as he give them the light to find their way in darkness, they can sit amongst all the camps. I met a guy in New York, not New York, he's in Texas. Oh, yes. I remember he called me 3 in the morning. He was begging me to touch base with him 3 in the morning. He said, we going out to the outside. He said, we going out on the downtown area. And he don't feel good about it. He said, Deborah is starting trouble. He said, it's starting trouble. I don't know what to do. And if I don't do it, they're going to put me out. And found out what he told me. He was 10 years older than I was. But he used to be in the military and everything. And he said, the way they doing it, he said, they doing it. He said, Deborah, I'm telling you, this is hate. This is not smart. We're going to get ourselves killed. This is not a good thing to teach our young man. That man, let me tell you, we talked and talked and talked. He left him alone after 2 weeks because they went up in his household telling him what he should do to his wife. And he had to wear this. He said it just got so bad. But he didn't go that night. Me and him talked. He was trying to not go that morning because he thought that they're gonna end up getting into it with the Gentiles, and he didn't go. And he said that they was gonna put him out, which they did. They acted very negative toward him after that. Okay, so you said forgive. Yeah, it's hard to forget. So what you say? So writing is not a form of really forgiving, huh? Now, see, that's what I was thinking, writing and then let go. But I don't know how to write without putting it so deep, y'all. I don't know how to do it without putting it so deep. And they ain't gonna understand it if I put it that way, y'all. They won't understand it. With me, they are more afraid of me. I will say that without a doubt. When I have to try their spirit by the spirit, they're more afraid of me. They're afraid of the words in which I speak it. And that's why I say, if I put it in writing, I don't know how to go in and pull out. You know what I'm saying? I'll be all up in there breaking everything down, and I don't want to do that. You see, a real state of mind. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Never even understanding this is not about what they making it about. It's about us owning up to what we did to get to where we at. And then he say, I would have at any time. Because y'all notice when they were doing all this hanging and burning these women and men up and beating them and in slavery, you didn't see y'all come up and pull up on none of it. Never did. Never. The father never did. But he just told Ezekiel. He turned his face away from him. He told Ezekiel that. He told Jeremiah. He told Isaiah. I don't look at him. I don't pay. I turn to my face. We just read that. He said he turned his whole face, his full face away from him. The warning spirit is loose. Yeah, I think so too. That's a good one. Oh, that sounds good. You sure right about that. Now I believe that. I believe that. I really believe that. I really believe that there is a warning spirit that's loose. I really do. That's another thing. No, we can't erase our memory, but how I said to the father, I said, now you got to help me to let it go in a way of letting it go. And I just thought, I said, I know how, y'all. I know how, but what is it? I guess because of what was done, and they plotted it so well while I was doing good for them. They plotted it for 3 months against me. And I think because I got caught off, uh, 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 and I know that's a part of it. When you're looking at family as a way beyond, better than spirit, and not seeing that this still is flesh that you're dealing with, and they're not going to love you like you might care for them or you feel about them, and you trying to bring them in the same level of love. I ain't gonna say love, in a sense, give and gain. That was what it was all about. And you really can't bring them into that realm. But the moment they hurt you in the realm of what you were in their midst, it just seems like it was hard. It's hard to shake. It's hard too, isn't it? Yes, yes. It's very important for us to take ownership of our forefathers, our ancestors. You are so right. Do you know that people are trying to? Let me show you how sick this is. I want to talk about that right quick. This thing about the ancestors. Let me tell y'all, it is so many tribe of Judah that believe that they could go into the ancestors, and that the ancestors watching over us, the ancestors this and that. Do you all know that that's loaded with witchcraft and sorcery? That's demonic. Why? Because what is it you don't get? When we leave here, we sleep. Our spirit sleeps. Our flesh go back to the dust. So why is it our ancestors are looking after us and trying to tell us things? When I tell y'all that Solomon when the Father says solemn, or I say solemn is telling me this and telling me that's truly my brother, I'm hearing his words out of the book. And the spirit that rests in me, which is the Ruach, is bringing me to a relationship with him from the words in which he has spoken. He is one in Yah. I am one in Yah. So he and I are one still in the same Yah. Remember how Yah said I gave one, you know how Yah said I gave one the gift of healing. I gave one the gift of interpretation. I gave one the gift of this, one of that, but we all the same oneness spirit. We're all in him, in one spirit. The same spirit that gave this gift, it's the same spirit that gave them all. You see, and that's another realm that nobody ever teach about, and that's kind of sad. And I don't know if y'all know this. It is so many gifts that was released down to the body of Hamashiach. So many gifts to where you shouldn't even have to go outside of the body to get anything. Anything. Why? Because heaven says that he has given all to the body, that it is no need for nothing else. The head is Hamashiach, and the body is the church and the saints. So the church is not a building, y'all. Just imagine when you go into a building, you become the church. Hallelujah. You are the church. You see, that's the real church. There's two churches, one made of stone and one made of spirit. You see what I'm saying? They don't know nothing about that, though. Well, see, that's what happened to me. My mother plotted against me. And all the stuff she had been telling me about, you prophesied this years ago, 20, 30 years ago, and I agreed. And now I'm telling you, I remember. And I would have thought, she's 87. I would have thought she remembered all this stuff. But she brought it right back to me. But I'm like, okay. And I was telling y'all, I was over there doing her hair. Sister Deborah can throw down on her, y'all. I was over there doing her hair several times. And she was saying, Booby, I repent. I'm sorry. And I'm like, saying, Mama, you don't have to do that. You know, really, she didn't. But all that time, I had no idea. But that was my fault, though, y'all. That was my fault. Yeah, we need to take ownership of our, because even taking it, we still can take ownership. We need to, because we're getting up out of here. We're getting up out of here. Yep, our struggles are tests. I agree with that. And endurance. Strength and endurance. You say no, say it ain't so. What? Well, that's how mine's as well. You know, as far as like when you say the footstool, it's the same, but it's just I still feel that words need to be said. And I guess that's, you know what that could be too? Could that be pride on my behalf? Could that be pride? Because I can just turn away and keep on going. But because I want to be able to address the situation, could that be pride? Or before she passed away? But Mama never did. Oh, woo. And see, that's what I'm saying. I don't want no one to pass without me addressing the situation. But I think it could be me having some type of pride, feeling that because I know that I stand in the midst of my Father's will, and I would then therefore have the words to know how to say, but it would also bring it almost like a judgment, the words. I don't know. So it gets really crazy. Yep. Let me tell y'all one thing I did. And she brought it up this year. This year. She brought it up back in March. It was probably 4 years ago. I've been wanting to write her a letter and tell her, out of her 7 children, I was the one that she had neglected to treat like her child. Now, listen to this. I would send her something. I would call her and send her something every birthday. But I had never, ever heard her say happy birthday to me. Never. And I just broke that thing down. I just broke that thing down. I sure did. And it was in a long letter. And she wrote me another letter. And she wrote me a letter saying she apologized if I felt that she was treating. See, right then, that if shows that she wasn't sincere. And she brought it up this year again. You remember when you wrote me that letter and we cleared some things? I really appreciate that. And I'm like saying, okay, I'm all for it. And you know what? Whether a person repent or say I'm sorry, to me, none of that. Do y'all know, to me, that doesn't mean anything. What's important is I just like to drop in a little light on the situation, and I leave it there. And to me, that just dropping that little light is closure. And I think that's what I'm trying to do, but I think I also need to let it go. You say you think he's letting us, she is allowing us to be sniffed. Yeah. Shift. What's that? That could be. It could be. And that's how that, and always see it like that. And that's how I said, because I hadn't talked to my mother because I stayed in Georgia and I hadn't talked to her. I said, I'm gonna move back just so I can spend time with her in her elderly years. And I knew that she hadn't been fishing since she was a little girl. I was taking her fishing. I'm telling y'all, we went fishing several times. I went out about all her equipment so she have everything. And when she saw, she said, "Oh, you got your mama everything she needs." She just really thought that. I mean, but I realized even during that time, I wasn't the other daughters. You see what I'm saying? We all have the same father and everything. We grew up in the same house, but it's just I was the one that was always neglected. Always was. But it didn't bother me. It didn't bother me. And so I guess back then, the spirit of the Most High was so heavy in me, it didn't bother me that I didn't get the attention from the flesh. It was something already in me that was giving me a nudge, and I would assume. But when I got older, that's when I wanted to just let her know. Her birthday, I was the child. Now listen to this. I was the child she never said happy birthday to. And guess what? Our birthday both are in October. And I always recognized her birthday. I always either gave her money or bought her something, card, always. But she never said happy a birthday to me, even as an adult. And what you say, wow, that was me. With your mother and the father protected me. He saw it. Oh yeah, he see it. Don't think he don't. Yeah, he definitely see it. Okay, when what you say, her apology sincere, but you still okay. Yeah. Mm. Oh, wow. Yep, I sure did. I was taking her fishing and everything. We really enjoyed it. It was real lot of fun. Uh-huh. Talking about each other to the rest, and you the one that she gave away, huh? Holding her up still. Mm. It's always they say it's always like that though. Oh, you love fishing too? Yeah. I got two in Texas. Plus my sister. Got a lot of family in Texas, a whole lot. That's what I just found out. What, 2 months ago? I didn't know we had that many. And being the strongest out of all of the siblings. All right, all right. And you know what? I come to understand through the spirit. And I only learned this through the spirit that he always going to have a light in the house. Mm, 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 mm. And in the house mean in the family. And that light is going to always appear to everybody as darkness. And sometimes even the light itself take on a lifestyle of darkness because it allows its emotions and its feeling to react to the treatment of those who's trying to put it in a black box. And it begins to play the role in which they are portraying that he or she is. They trying to get you in a little black box. So do you know the reason why a lot of people would say, what was that they tell me? They say, the black sheep of the family. That's what I'm trying to say. They say, Miss Deborah, I was the black sheep of the family. You know why? They make sure they're putting one as the black sheep because no matter what goes on in the house, say for instance, if brother stole something out of the neighbor's house, father stabbed mother in the shoulder, sister uh, slept with brother's best friend. Guess what? All that don't mean nothing when you got a black sheep in the family. Mm-mm. The black sheep is the one that they turn to put the focus at all time on the black sheep. Why? Because this is their way of escaping everything going on in the household. As long as you have someone in the little black box, which is most likely, a lot of times people call it the black sheep, is because, and then the black sheep begin to be darkened in its ways because it's been put in a category, of darkness. So it begins to act out that role. And as time go on, when the father have it assigned, then all of a sudden it pull up in the spirit realm now. Why? Because it didn't know how to fight out of that black sheep or that black box. A lot of people don't understand when you put someone in a black box, you don't understand the light that rests are in. And they don't understand that. But it's like I can put every issue. Okay, daddy did stab mama, but guess what? So and so did this. Always using the black sheep as the focus of the whole house. Y'all didn't know that, did you? That's what they do. That's how, and that's why they do it. If we could just keep the black sheep, let me see here. I love fishing and live. Okay, in Texas, from the coast. Yeah, I know that's right. Dad said it's moving fast. Oh, your mom passed away? Oh, wow. I hate to hear that. That's the only way. And then yeah, then here go the father come up, pull it up. Y'all, this is my light right here. This is my light. Yeah, I know you try to make he or she the black sheep, but this is my light. What you talking about? They got a testimony. Here, this is the light. They got a testimony. They got something they can tell somebody. You see, they don't got sense enough to comprehend that. Okay. And do you know some things you could say amongst those that are Christian, but you have to say what the Most High give you. And when the Most High give you spirit and truth, they can't say nothing against it, and they won't. Oh wow! But yeah, they say you had too much education. That's why you was not in your right mind. I'm telling you that they would. Hey, a lot of times, and now you hear a lot of people now. They got these videos on YouTube and Facebook. The chosen, give you information about individuals who are chosen and what they go through. That's right. That's how it should be, and that's how mine is. But this is. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is what has happened. The light came on years ago, and I had no idea it was at the level until the last, say, about 10 years. And that is the household. Now, this is what they thinking. This is in their mind. This is what they think, y'all. Shalom, shalom. They think because, now listen to this. They think my mother and father had seven children. Okay. And yep, we had a big house. Okay. And everybody around the neighborhood, everywhere, they thought that we were the best family because we had a father and a mother, and my mother and father and them have seven children. Okay. So uh everybody in the community, we went to elementary, went to high school, we went to college, and everybody went off their own way, but most of them went into drugs and went into the community having babies by babies by babies by they started having one another. It was like a community of just a bunch of sin and wicked and drinking, smoking drugs, selling drugs. But my family, my mom family, was the one that they never knew nothing about us, but they always thought that we had it going on because we were one of the family that had two parents, and it appeared that we had, and to me, we didn't have nothing, but we had something because that's what the father had given us. My dad had a good job, and my mom did too. So we came up, and we wasn't lacking anything. But the whole community, everybody, not just everybody, when they said us, it was like, oh, they the people, they the people. Everybody always wanted to be in our family, wanted to hang around us, and wanted to. It was basically because of my younger brother and I. I was one of them. My younger brother and I. And sometimes it was my youngest sister, but my mother, other four older ones, it didn't have anything to do with them, with the community. It was us. And everybody just look at our family as the perfect. They used to call us Lever to Beaver. That's what they used to say to me. Y'all the Leave the Beaver family, because they just thought we was the perfect net, got it going on and got it going on. But what I developed in wisdom and knowledge in the spirit realm and understanding is that our household had a high level of pride. They had a high level of pride, envy, jealousy. Okay, very high level of pride, envy, and jealousy. So when I went back to do the search of where did it come from, it came from my mother's side. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My sister Nim is at the highest level. One of my oldest sisters, she ain't as bad, but all of my sisters has this high level of pride. It is off the chain. I got a thrift store, right? And I've had it for about 4 years. Did you know not one of my family members nor my mother had came to my store? So this particular time, now that they talking to me, they decide to stop by because the youngest sister told the other sister her husband and her son came by and they got so much good stuff. They didn't know I had all that good stuff in the store. So all of a sudden, the sisters decide to come and mom decided to come. When mom been once before, and the reason why they don't come is because of jealousy, envy. And I believe hatred plays a part, but pride is the number one. It is the number one. And when my sister and them came in there, they nose was so high up in the air. I told them, shop until you drop. You know what them hens did? Nah, we don't want nothing. Oh, and one said, oh, I like this. Oh, put it down. Don't get it. Don't get it. And the other one, the oldest said, oh, I'm going to get this. I'm going to get it. Oh, no, don't get that. Don't get it. Don't buy it. I mean, it was just so off the chain. Shop until you drop me. Anything in the store is yours. That's just who I am. I know I ain't got no sense, but that's just me. I live and die with no sense. But they had so much pride and envy and jealousy to the point it kept them forgetting the things that they was reaching for. Like they was in a candy store, but couldn't, won't, and get. I'm giving it to them free. So I sat there and I looked. I said, you know what, Father, that pride is heavy. He said, yeah. And it came from my mother. My mother, yeah. And that's why I want to so bad write a letter again, but I'm just like saying I would have to put too much in it. And I have woke up in the morning and I've did it about 15 times. Then I turn up and I said, what do you think, Father? And I go back and forth, asking the Father, what should I do? What should I do? And he still have not. I think he might have already told me, but I just didn't listen. I put it like that. But that pride in that family, y'all, and hatred, oh my goodness. And jealousy and that envy, and they don't think nobody see it. They don't think nobody see it. Huh? That's right. That's right. Let them separate. And that's the same thing here. Same thing here. My mother said to me, boy, my sister told me that too. You got the best children. I mean, they respect them. They carry themselves with respect and integrity. You see what I'm saying? They not out here trying to be something they ain't got no business being or trying to get recognition like their children are trying and going through. Yeah. I mean, pride in something is heavy, y'all. I'm telling you. Yes, regarding to mom. That's right. Or sometimes you can hear her voice and your voice. All right. Was she a which one would call a loving mother? I think I overdid mine by giving them my all in all. And I think I brought mine up in the word. Um, Wow. Oh yes, I know that's right. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And you have those memories. That's beautiful. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. Now you see how you leave. She's still living in you because you are able to say that. See there? That's beautiful. That is wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. So I hope we got something out of the lesson today. She did. She loved the community. That's what I'm talking about. Boy, that's what I'm talking about. That's me all over again then. Because that's just me. I have always been one to, and that's why it bothers me to be in a time as this and see so many people saying they're in the light. They represent the most high God, and nobody bring no unity to the community, to the neighborhood, to the area, or everybody just off to themselves, making life about them and theirs, and what they want out of it in their flesh, and teaching people how to live it like it's about us over here and us only. No. Somebody said something, and I said that is so true. When they said they forgot about the fatherless, the homeless, the widows, the orphanage, they just forgot all about that. Even though Yeshua came on the scene telling them how heaven's going to be there for the righteous, and the righteous going to have to do this. I mean, the righteous going to be known for doing this. But it's just like you go in one ear and out the next, And the same thing when we was talking about Ezekiel 39. It's just like, wait a minute, you sitting here telling Ezekiel, how is it Ezekiel getting it and these people ain't getting it today? Don't y'all see how that don't make sense? How could Ezekiel, Jeremiah, and Isaiah get what's going on with us today, and we today don't get it? Something wrong. Y'all don't see nothing wrong with that? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for everybody in the instructions and direction book to get it, except for us that's here today. We so away from spirit and truth of the whole matter, but yet they got it. That's one of the points I was trying to make out with Ezekiel. Hey, Father, wait a minute, hold up. You told this to Ezekiel back then, thousands of years? Here we are today, don't know that. They don't know it. I know it, but I'm just still showing you how far people are really far from a living creator. Far from his bosom, far from his understanding, far from his wisdom, far from his knowledge, far from his power. I mean, just far away from him, period. It is off the chain the way we are today. So set far away from him. But I'm like, but you telling this to Ezekiel. You said it to Isaiah. You said it to Jeremiah. Wait a minute. How are you talking to them about what we going through? That's one of the points I was trying to get to you all in this here topic. Is how is it they getting it? They've been told it, and we still ain't got it. Thank you. Yep, that's where it started. That's where it started. That's it. So I, Sister Deborah, say unto you all that I will be back again. And I like to say, have a wonderful night. Shalom and shalom.